Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow participants. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is another new day, another new month. Actually, yeah, this is like our second meeting this month. Yes. And we want to thank God because He's been very, very, very faithful. And I want to invite you from wherever you're joining us from. I know this is a global forum. We have people from different parts of the world. And because we want to maximize on the time that we are having, one of the reasons we come here is to get to know who we are, what you're doing, and how we can connect with one another. We want to pray that we may use the chat box maximally to introduce ourselves and what we are doing. You can share your links to your profile so that people with the like minds can connect with you. And so it is truly, truly my joy and our joy as the Global Alliance for Sustainability in Education to welcome each one of you to today's Global Education for Sustainable Development Learning Session. This is hosted by the Global Alliance for Sustainability in Education. And this is an organization that is registered and being led by a board globally. And we are moving towards opening different branches in different countries so that we can allow people to get a way of interacting physically and not just virtually. So today's theme, community outreach for sustainable development, is actually going to be led by our youth to tell us what they are doing and how they are doing it to impact on the community. And so before we get into what we're supposed to do, let me request one of my colleagues from the Ministry of Education in Kenya, David Mayodi, to pray for us.
Yeah, thank you. Let's bow down for a prayer. Our Lord, we come this evening. We thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for having taken us through since last week up to today. As we begin today's session, please guide our presenters so that whatever they'll be doing will be beneficial to all of us, and we may take or gain some lessons from the presentations. I pray this short prayer, trusting in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much. Thank you, David, for the prayer. It is important to note that the last 2 weeks we were having guests, and they were basically guiding us on how to embrace character when it comes to sustainability. And we realized that we all need to help ourselves and even help our children to improve in the line of character so that they can fit in the society. And so today, as we move on to the session that we are going to talk about today, the youth-led impact through education and innovation, this reminds us that education becomes truly, truly transformative when it moves beyond the classroom and gets into the heart of communities. And this is exactly what students and professors from Moi University are doing in Kenya. We are privileged to get to learn from brilliant minds and passionate students from Moi University in Kenya, who are showing us how sustainability can take root through creativity, compassion, collaboration, as well as innovation. These young innovators are turning knowledge into action. And that is what education for sustainable development is all about. Yeah? Going beyond what is in the books, going beyond what we are reading or what we are learning in the classroom, and putting it in practice, implementing it in the community, putting it in action for us to see something happening to transform lives. This may be from empowering women and youth through vocational training to addressing teenage pregnancies through social entrepreneurship and sustainable poultry farming initiatives that we are going to learn about today. Their stories will remind us that when students engage their communities, learning becomes a force for lasting change. So it is not just for fun or just for grades that these students are going to the community. And so we are honored to be guided by our wonderful facilitators, Professor Joyce Balidawa and Dr. Gladys Akama. I don't know if Dr. Caleb Nyamange will also be there. These are very inspiring champions of education for sustainable development and community-based education. We really, really appreciate them. And of course, I'm deeply grateful to each one of you, the educators, the students, partners from all over the world, for being here, not just to listen, but to learn, reflect, and also share your insights with us. As we begin, let us open our hearts, let us open our minds to the voices of these young change makers. Let us be reminded that education is not only about what we know, but also about what we serve, how we can connect with others, and how we transform the world around us. And so, everyone, please join me to welcome Professor Balidawa to bring her team to us. Welcome, Professor. Go ahead, Prof. Unmute yourself. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Christine. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are hearing us from for today. My name is Joyce Balidawa. I am part of the group, the dynamic team that has been described. Thank you very much for that description and introduction. Mine is to introduce to you our students from Moi University, the College of Health Sciences, and just to tell you briefly that we have a unique program called Community-Based Education and Service. And what we do is to try and train our healthcare professionals, them to do research, them to do outreach, for them to do extension, as well as for them to engage with the communities. I first of all want to apologize that I cannot cannot show you my face because I'm traveling. And as we are all here, we will just bear with me. Students go to the community for a set time period for about 6 weeks. And when they go to that community, they're supposed to identify problems with the community, making sure that they're addressing those challenges which they feel the community needs attention on. So today we have 2 stations. For those who have been with us previously, we have about 19 students groups that have already presented. And this is the tail end of these wonderful students who go to the communities in different stations. So the stations that are presenting today are Bokoli and Nasewa. And they will tell you exactly where they went, what they did, what they found, what kind of problems they want to address for the community. Because as it has been introduced, they go to the community to try identify problems and solve these problems with them. And so without spending too much time, I'd like to introduce the representative who is presenting on behalf of Bokoli Health Center to tell us what it is that they found in Bokoli. First of all, tell us where Bokoli is. Who was in Bokoli? What was the composition of the team that went to Bokoli, and what it is that you now want to share with us so that we can actually see how best we try to promote the Education for Sustainable Development agenda. So Bokoli Group, please, under is it, hello, can you still hear me? Yes, okay. So Bokoli Group, please, can you take the platform, start sharing your slides and tell us your interesting experiences when you are at Bokoli. Thank you.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to whoever is from wherever you're hearing us from. Now, my name is Fenton Rumbe, and I hope you all can hear me. As I've said, my name is Fenton Rumbe, and chairman of the group that went to Bokoli. Now, Bokoli is in Bungoma County in Kenya. And we went there sometime around mid-July. That was around the 14th of July. And we were there for a period of 5 weeks roughly. Now, while we were in Bukoli, it is actually a very nice place. Lots of crop farming, lots of indigenous cattle growing.
Could you please speak into the mic? We can't hear you.
Okay, sorry.
Speak clearly into the mic so that we can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me right now?
Yes.
Okay, then, as I was saying, Bokoli is, I could say it's a marginalized community location actually in the western part of Kenya. And as we were there during the 5 weeks of our stay in Bokoli, we came across one thing stood out for us. While we were rotating in the MCH clinic of the Bokoli Sub-County Hospital, we came across a good number of teenage mothers. At least every day we could come across roughly 3 or 2 teenage mothers who were pregnant. Now, the striking thing is these are not cases of assault. These are cases, unfortunate as we might not want to admit it, these were not cases of assault, but they were rather consensual. And this is painting a rather grim picture in the 21st century, whereby we tend to prioritize the education of the girl child. Now, while we were there, we came to a very grinning and a very dark reality that in Bokoli, there are a lot of teenage pregnancies. And if I might share my screen, as you can see, that from the stats that we got from Bokoli sub-county, that in 2023, there were 23.89% of the women that were visiting the MCH were teenagers. In 2024, it was 21.9%. In 2025, it was 21.46%. If we are to break down these numbers, it means that 2 in every 10 women visiting the MCH are teenagers. Now, this number is very high, considering these are people who are not supposed to be getting pregnant at this age. I mean, we all want children at some point, but these are also children. Now, why are these numbers high? Why are these numbers high? Now, in our inquiry, we found out that one of the major causes of these numbers being high is poverty. Now, most of the girls are enticed into having, and I'm sorry to say this, having sex in terms for monetary exchange due to their poor living standards. Now, as a result, there is that pregnancies tend to rise. Now, the number two is ignorance, where most of the families, and this is going to the families, they're still ignorant of the fact that even the children, the female children, are still supposed to be educated. Now, there's pressure from families to enter into marriages. And then number four, which is actually one of the things that is kind of unfortunate, but you have to admit it. There are these courts, they're called kangaroo law courts, and they're granting the perpetrators minimal punishment. In other words, if, for example, a family or a girl from a family is found to have been pregnant, now the perpetrator, if it's a teenager, basically the law dictates that this perpetrator should go to jail. Now, what we find that is happening is the families sit together in what we call a kangaroo law court, and they tend to solve this issue in-house without involving the authorities. Now, this is considered one of the solutions in Bokoli, but it comes as a risk to the young girls out there in Bokoli. And then there's also neglect by parents. Now, what are we proposing? Now, we are proposing chicken farming or poultry farming as a means of reducing the financial dependability on the perpetrators. Now, our project goal is to reduce teenage pregnancies rates and support young mothers by creating income opportunities through sustainable chicken farming. Now, our objective is one, economic empowerment. We want to provide steady income to the girls and to their families so that they don't have to depend on premarital sex as a means of surviving. Now, number two is developing skills. We want to teach poultry farming, and we get to equip these girls and their families with with vocational skills, so that they can actually find a means of surviving in this world. And number two is the social impact. We want to reduce the dependency on transactional sex. And number three is we are trying to create a self-sustaining local business model. Now, the customer segment that we are targeting, one is those are the teen mothers, and those that are at high risks, those are the schoolgirls. Now, number two is our indirect target are the families and the local consumers around Bokoli. Now, what does our project encompass? Number one is training and capacity building. We want to train them on poultry farming. Number two is business and mentorship. Measuring on mentorship, we want to use this project as a platform to one, create awareness about teenage pregnancies that is a grim and yet unrecognized challenge in Bokoli. And while we do that, we also equip the girls with means to provide for themselves and their families. Number two is a project. We have the poultry production, that is the main phase of the project, and then market development. And our project, it focuses on the meat, because we're trying to grow and rear broilers. And then as a result of our project, the profits that come from our project go to welfare support groups. And what I'm trying to say is the profits can be used as for funding awareness campaigns on teenage pregnancies. We help tell them on the various ways in which the various steps they can take to reduce the teenage pregnancies. Now, our plan is Our plan is to, number one, our sensitization. Number one, we have to, because we intend to work with a pilot group. Let me just give you the specifics of the project. For our pilot group, we work with around 20 mothers, 20 teenage mothers or teenage families or families with teenage mothers for our pilot group. So our project is in two phases. Number one, we are planning to rear 1,000 chicken in total, but then 600 of these are raised in a communal place. And then each of the girls, each of the families is given at least 20 chickens, so that would 20 by 20, that would be 400 chicken raised individually. Now, phase two is training. We train them on, we give them the skills on how to raise chicken, the requirements, the ABCD on raising a chicken. Number three is the housing, and we procure the chicken. That is in phase three of our implementation plan. Now, phase four is where we begin the poultry rearing. At this point, we hope that all our pilot group members, that is the 20 mothers, have been equipped with the skills to be able to rear poultry. Now, in phase five, that is where we expect to begin our first sales. And in this project, we expect, since we are rearing broilers, we are targeting to rear the broilers that have a maturation of about 6 to 7 weeks. So in a year, we expect to have approximately 6 to 7 cycles. That is, after every 6 to 7 weeks, we dispose the batch and bring a new batch. So in a year, we expect to have at least 6 to 7 cycles. Now, our resources, we expect resources is the costs will majorly go to housing, procurement of the chicks, and then majorly it will go on the feeds, which is actually one of the major things that when it comes to chicken rearing, the funds majorly go to the feeding. And then there's vaccine, there's training, and there's marketing. Now, these are our projected financials of the project. If we are dealing with at least, for example, 400 birds, the individual, each of them rearing 20, and then there's a communal place where 600 birds are being raised. Now, we expect the revenue per bird to be at least on the projection side, at least on the 630. Now, I won't bore you with the nitty-gritty of the financials, but just to run you through it, the cost per bird, that is the cost of feeding, and this is where our major, if you can see our table, this is where majorly most of the funds will go. This is our major expense, feeding. And we approximate a total cost of 140 per bird, that is for the individual, and then for the communal, since the costs are shared due to the economies of scale, at least 124, 125 per bird. Now, if we bring these to the totals, the total cost per bird is at least 376, the cost of rearing a bird, from acquiring it to feeding it to medicine and vaccines, that is around 376. Now, subtract that from the revenue from selling a bird, that is around 630. A profit per bird on the higher side is at least 253. Now, if that is per bird, now given we're dealing with 400 birds on the individual side, that is a revenue of about 250,000. And on the communal side, 370,000. If we are able to implement this plan, the profits that we could be getting from these would be diverted into creating awareness for teenage pregnancies, because our goal is not only to sensitize the people of Bokoli about the high teenage pregnancy rates that are in their area, but to offer a solution. You don't have to do this, you can do this. And to the girls, you're telling them, you don't have to depend on transactional sex in order to survive. You can do this. Now, these are just our financials in terms of what we are extrapolating. to get. Now, if we look at the annual profits, we could be generating on to the north of 1.6 million Kenya shillings. Now, if we are to invest these in the community, the community is benefiting since they are we are supplying the community with chicken. And number two, the girls have something to do. It's a communal project. Now, these are just the financials for bird and broken down, and the profit margins.
Hello.
Yes.
Can't hear you.
Sorry. Okay. Now, as I was saying, I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, as I was saying, I think I can repeat our projected financials. And let me say the approximate costs of the revenue that one bird will bring is approximately 630 shillings. Now, the total feeding cost of a bird is around 140 shillings. That is on the individual side. Now, this is the individual column. That is the first column. The second column is the communal side. As I said, we're raising our project. Our project is in two aspects. There are those that are raised with the individual girls and families. And since our project is basically we're dealing with a pilot group of 20 girls. So if each girl is given 20 chicks to raise, that is a manageable number, number one. And number two, it gives them a sense of responsibility. And then on the second phase of our project, the second aspect of our project is a communal coup where we're raising 600 birds. Now the total birds in play are 1,000. Now, in these financials, we have not mentioned the cost of housing, but it is catered for in the amortization part, where the cost of housing is spread over a couple of years. That is, if the cost of constructing the houses for the birds is around 300,000 or 400,000, now we are spreading this cost over a particular number of years and let's work with 2 years. Now, if we're doing in 2 years, it means in 2 years, if in 1 year we have 6 cycles of birds, that is, we raise chicks, we get 1-day-old chicks, we raise them from 6 to 7 weeks. At 7, they are good to be dispatched. It means that in a year we'll have around 6 to 7 cycles. Now, this is a cost that is the amortization cost that is spread over the period of cycles, that is for around 2 years. So in 12 cycles, we shall have recovered the amount of money we used to build the houses for the chicken. Now, either way, this is just the first part of the project. So the first part of the project is the economy side of it. The second is the social aspect of it, where our major goal is to give these girls we are giving them skills to raise poultry. We are giving them a way out of depending on themselves. Now, on the expansion phase, I mentioned the expansion phase in phase 6. In that, we are also targeting the youth, but in our first phase, we are targeting the teenage mothers who are at very high risk in the community. Number one, they get pregnant at very early ages. They are not able to fend for themselves. This education has been cut short. So we're just trying to offer them a way out. Now, the profits that we get from this project, we invest it in sections of financing the girls to be able to go back to schools, giving those teenage mothers stipends so that they can be able to cater for themselves, the daily needs that they need in the house. And then number two, we intend to make our project a forum, as I had mentioned, to sensitize the girls. So for example, if the girls since you remember I'd mentioned one of our target group is the girls that are at risk. They're not yet pregnant, but they are at risk to get pregnant. That is the high school girls. Now, during the holidays, when they're at home, they can be coming to a project center. And then as we educate them on poultry farming, we also take that time to sensitize them on teenage pregnancies, how they can protect themselves better, what to do in case your parents are forcing you into an early marriage, who to reach out for, and such kind of things. Now, these are just the financials of our projects, the same but broken down, and these are our projected annual financials. Now, having said that, I believe I'm finished with my presentation. Thank you so much.
Wow, this is so good. Before I say anything, let me open the forum to the participants, the audience. Is there anything you want to ask the group? Because this is a group presentation of students from Moi University. Anybody with a question, an insight, advice? You know, we are also helping them improve on their project. Is there anything that you saw you think they need to look at or they need to look into again? Please raise up your hand or open your mic and air your views.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello,
AK.
Ambassador.
Yes, AK.
Sorry, I'm using a phone, so something that are hard for me to see. I just want to say I am just pleased to see the presenters confident, because in our day-to-day work, there are two critical things: content and confidence. And my follow-up is really, he's amazing. I want to thank him for having studied his content and to see that he's presenting like a professor. Keep it up.
Good. Rembe, congratulations. That is
Thank you
good.
so much.
Yeah, I also noted that. I was like, this is so good. It's good to see a student really very confident, and yet they are doing their bachelor's, they are not even in their master's level. That means, Rumbe, if you continue to your master's and PhD level, you're going to be a great a student in the future. Keep it up.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. So basically, the Bokori group from Moi University has demonstrated how education can directly transform communities by linking sustainability, health, and empowerment. And I love the initiative of using poultry farming as a pathway for economic independence and social reintegration of teenage mothers. As he has stated clearly, there is the aspect of promoting dignity, reducing stigma, and creating hope for a better future. And so he has strongly handled the two pillars of education for sustainable development very well. That is the economic and the social pillars of sustainability. But now I want to add something on what they are doing to bring in the environmental part. Because when we are talking about education for sustainable development, we must always think about how the project that we are proposing or we are working on is going to affect the environment. That is very pertinent to us. So if you look at your project, there is what we call the waste from the poultry farm. How can you use it to improve the soil? You understand what I'm talking about? So
Yes,
if
I
there
do.
is a way you can help the community also to know how to use the waste, that will be a plus for you. So beyond what you've given us, the economic independence, you've given us well calculated figures on what goes in, what comes out, and the profit margins and all that. And you've also clearly given us the social reintegration of it. The social pillar came out so strongly and so nicely. Now think about the environmental pillar. I'm just giving you an example of the waste from the poultry, which you can use as organic manure, you know? So you can go beyond slightly what you've done and add in that aspect to make the circle complete. And so their model actually shows that when students apply what they learn through community outreach, education for sustainable development becomes practical, empowering, and it can be measured. You can see the way everything has been given to us. You can see what goes what, how many chicks, you know, that is what we are calling measurement. And indeed, you can see mathematics, you can see accounting, you can see economics in all that the students are presenting. And so the Bokoli team has shown us that education for sustainable development goes beyond theory, yeah? You can see it becomes transformative when learners identify real social issues and co-create solutions with communities. These projects demonstrates several goals, that is the Sustainable Development Goals. First, we have goal number 4, which talks about quality education. You can all attest to it that what they are doing is actually promoting Sustainable Development Goal number 4 on quality education. They're also promoting goal number 5. It came out so clearly because they are talking about the girl. They're talking about the girl child. So the aspect of gender equality comes in because even the girls, even if they become pregnant, get babies, they still need to go back to school to fight for their future, to fight for their careers. And also goal number 8, decent work and economic growth. It's also seen in what they have presented. And so it turns learning into livelihood and education into empowerment. I like their poultry project. Of course, most of the education for sustainable development model centers have also gone into poultry projects. And so the students from Moi University can now help the other students in lower levels, like elementary and secondary schools, to get to know how to do it right, because now they are bringing in figures which the students maybe in primary schools have not reached there. They don't know how to get there. So if the students from Moi University can showcase what they are doing and how they are doing it on this platform, and we have the students from secondary schools and primary schools coming to see, they will definitely emulate and do the right thing. And so their poultry farming is about capacity building. That is what he said. They are going to train others. They are going they are breaking circles of dependency. And also there is the aspect of enterprise. It equips vulnerable young mothers with lifelong skills. That is very, very good. It fosters resilience through entrepreneurship, teamwork, and problem solving. And all these are the core competencies when we are talking about sustainable education. There is also a strong aspect of moral and values dimension in their work. Compassion, responsibility, respect for life, and so on and so forth. These values are the real foundation of sustainable development. So as much as the girls get pregnant, they are motivated to get their children to give birth because there is hope even after that. This is where you can link what we learned in the previous sessions on character for a better and peaceful world with what this project is going to bring to us. And the Bokoli team reminds us that students are not passive recipients of knowledge. Thank you so much, Professor Balidawa and your team, for the work you're doing. They are actually coming out to be agents of change, capable of shaping society when given space and mentorship. So all of us have got an opportunity to work with young people wherever we are, so that we can give them opportunities to shape their future, to shape their lives by giving them hints on what is productive and what is good that they can do, instead of involving themselves in the vices that are happening around them. And so before we just flower you through to the end, I want you to tell us how you will ensure that this project remains sustainable economically, socially, and environmentally.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, one of our major goals is to ensure that this project is self-sustaining, in that there are no more additional resources that are brought into the business. So for the first two phases, for the first 3 quarters of the business, we intend to reinvest a percentage of the profits. We haven't yet worked out the numbers, but let's say 40%, to ensure that as we expand, we are expanding, and also we are making sure that the business is catering for itself, so that all the recurring expenses are paid for by the business while we still get our profits. Now, number two, we intend to create a mentorship chain. That is, those that are already involved in the program, those that are already trained, can get an opportunity to train others, so that we can start with Bokoli as a pilot group. But then if it's successful, we can go on to other villages, because if this is the situation in Bokoli, what are the chances that this is also happening in other villages marginalized in Kenya? So we intend to expand, but we expand reasonably, so that our business or our project is catering for itself, and we don't get additional funds. Thank you.
You can also allow any other person from your group to add to what you've given us, because this is group work. Do you have your team in this forum?
No, my team members are not present. Unfortunately, most of them haven't come from back to school due to the distractions we had.
Oh, sorry about that. So I hope they will get an opportunity to listen to what you have presented and the feedback you've received, so that you can work on the project as a group. Okay. Anybody else with a question for this group? Are you happy with what the students are doing? I want you to say something, please. Hadija, Suleiman, you are a champion of ESD. Do you think the students are on the right track? Nancy, unmute yourself. You're right. Your hand is up. Unmute yourself and speak. You are still muted. You please click on your mic. Remove the red. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Hadija, continue. Then Nancy will come in.
Okay, sorry, I had issues with my mouse. It couldn't click. Okay, I love the project. I love what they are doing. We were to do the poultry project in my school. I teach in a school in Mombasa called Hadija Secondary School. We have done some projects in gardening, recycling, beach cleaning. So last year, we really wanted to do poultry, but we had some challenges to start the project. But after listening to the team, I feel motivated because I had given up completely on the poultry project. So maybe if he can share their details so that we can contact them and maybe organize for an online session with the students, it will be very beneficial to the school.
Wow. Thank you so much. That is good. That is what we are looking for here. Thank you, Hadija. Nancy, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Tina. I'm also glad to be part of this conversation today. And I just wanted to add something about the environmental pillar. Actually, the presentation was very good, and it really showed how the economy and the social pillars would be integrated. But I wanted, like, even if my sister who says she has a project that she wants to do in Mombasa, how about thinking about the waste from the poultry farm being used now to start maybe a vegetable garden, like for those of us in schools? Then we will also ensure sustainability in terms of food security. And then if just, okay, he was talking about selling the maybe 7-week-old chicks. That's when I joined, actually, I came in late. But what if we also raised some chicks to a point where these young mothers can also have some eggs to feed their children on, so that we also ensure that these young kids grow up when they are taking a balanced diet? Because we also understand that most of these girls who find themselves teenage mothers, the families that they come from may not be able to afford the balanced diet. So even as we raise the chicken to have the chicks and sell, we could also think of keeping something back at home for the little children that have been born out of these teenage pregnancies, so that we also ensure that they grow up strong. Thank you.
Wow.
That's my input.
Thank you so much. That is really good. Thank you for thinking about the babies. Thank you so much. And of course, the environment. You see, what I had talked about concerning the environment, you have to take it seriously because Nancy has also brought it up. Thank you, Nancy. Fanuel,
Thank you.
Director, please unmute yourself. Your hand is, yeah.
Yeah, there's something that I wanted to find out, and this is just for this project and the other projects that the students have. Usually, in terms of developing the innovations, just a minute.
Okay, Romeno, you can unmute as director comes.
Thank you, Dr. Christine. Thank you, all of you. I'm from Mexico. I'm hearing you, and I'm actually working precisely with the legal framework of the African, with the local system of human rights, the African system of human rights. When I'm searching to do comparative studies between the American system and the African system about the legal framework and the local constitutions, how the local constitution and the local systems are mixed, how it works in Africa. I'm really, for us in America, unfortunately, Africa is almost invisible. Nobody cares, nobody talk about Africa, nobody know nothing about you. And I think that we must change this precisely by doing comparative studies between our legal frameworks. If actually exist three local system of human rights, European system, African system, American system. For us, as I said, the African legal framework is almost invisible. Nobody talks. At least here in Mexico, I have even here before nothing to talk about these topics. If you can join with us, we can work together to make another reality possible. As it's just a topic, it's just an issue, the Global Alliance for Sustainability Education. But I think that we can talk about many other topics, gender equality, if you want, the SDGs of the UN Nations. We can talk about more neuro rights, bioethics, economic. We can talk about more topics if you want. I really, really admire the African people. I'm just about 1 year working with people of some countries of Africa, and I'm really want to change this for us in Mexico, for us in America. As I said, you are almost invisible. We need to change this by working together, by constructing bridges, intercontinental bridges. Thank you. I put my information in the chat box. If anyone can contact me, precisely I'm working with other friends of Nigeria and some people of Somalia, Sierra Leone, some countries. We are wanting to write a book, comparative studies, precisely between the African system and the American system, as the 21st century topics or realities are not very different. For example, we both were colonized, and we are the linguistical gaps, the axiological gaps, the technological. We can do many things together. Thank you for this space.
Oh, thank you so much for that powerful and sincere reflection. Your words remind us why the Global Alliance for Sustainability in Education exists. We're actually here to create bridges where walls once stood. That is why we are calling everyone to come and learn with us and to make visible the voices and knowledge that the world too often overlooks. There is so much happening in Africa that the world needs to know. And that is why we are here to open up the platform for everyone to come and just learn and see that there is something in Africa. Africa is vibrant, rich in wisdom, rich in culture, rich in community. And when we connect with regions like Latin America and the Caribbean and name them, we actually multiply our strength. We multiply our creativity and shared hope. Education is the bridge. Yeah, thank you very much. And through platforms like this, we are providing um, somehow we are providing a leeway for everybody to voice what they learn or what they know and to come and support us where possible, where necessary. We can collaborate and share what we have to see what can help even the Americans. Because personally, I'm in Canada and there are flaws. I can see there is something missing that we have that is very rich in Africa. So if Canada can collaborate with Africa, there is something the children are going to acquire for the sake of their future. And so thank you very much. I deeply appreciate your call for collaboration between Africa, Mexico, and the Americas. Let us indeed move forward, working together on projects, research, and shared publications that can highlight things to do like ethical aspects, legal, education systems, name them, through the lens of sustainability, of course, justice and humanity can make a difference. And so at GASE, we believe that the future of global transformation lies in collective intelligence. Thank you so much for accepting the call to join us today. So we are going to connect. Ambassador Fanuel Ondele, go ahead, please. You are unmuted. Fanuel, are you there? Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Thank you so much, Omar. Anybody else? Feel free. Okay, thank you so much. I think that is it for the first group. Professor Balidawa, back to you. You can bring us the next group so that we can also see how they are doing things, what we can do to support them. Professor, before you come, there is a hand here from Terry Waweru. Terry, you can unmute yourself before Professor continues. Terry, unmute yourself.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ambassador Christine Onye. I am Sister Teresa from Kenya, from Machakos Teachers Training College.
Yes.
And I'm happy and I want to congratulate those students for their presentation. I have felt good because in the college, we are also trying to come up with the projects. What we are doing is about a creche for the nursing mothers. And I see it very much connected to what they are doing because they are concerned with the teenage girls. Ourselves, we want to get concern of the nursing mothers who are getting pregnant while they are doing their studies in the college. And therefore, I'm seeing our SDG 4 and 5 as they are doing, matching with what they are doing. And therefore, I feel very happy because of what they are doing and the connection it has with us. So congratulations to them. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Professor Balidawa, take the platform, please.
Okay, let me take this opportunity to thank you all for those commendations about the presentation by Pokoni. We will take note of the suggestions that have been made, and we're hoping that now the students will now develop a holistic approach to addressing the early pregnancies and what else can be considered with respect to the challenge that they're addressing. So thank you very much for those comments. Our second group for today is that one from Nasewa. Nasewa, Hams, are you ready to make the presentation on behalf of the Nasewa
Hamza.
group?
Yeah,
when
Hamza.
you're ready, please project.
Yes, thank
Hams.
Hamza, where are you?
Excuse me, I would kindly like to ask the host to give me the ability to screen share because I've been locked.
I did.
My laptop,
I did.
there is
did
a
already.
participant with a full stop. That's me on the laptop.
Oh, okay, on the laptop, because
Because
I
my
had
laptop
given
doesn't
you,
have the ability.
I've had given you ability on the other one. Why are you using a full stop?
Sorry, sir.
Okay, good. Continue. Feel free to share.
I hope you're able to see my screen now.
Yeah, sure. Can you use the full screen slideshow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Once again, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for all the people who are joining us. I would like to, first of all, thank God for enabling us all to meet here. And I would also like to thank the Global Alliance for Sustainability in Education for giving not only me and my group Nasewa, but also the students in Moi University the opportunity to display our innovations and ideas, which will hopefully lead to the betterment of women, youth, and possibly the world at large. So with my group Nasewa, we were tasked to, we were stationed at Busia in Nasewa, where me and my classmates were able to come up with this project called Nguvu Nexus, which is basically a website or an technological hub, which aims at bridging which aims to bridge between skills and opportunity by equipping the locals with practical abilities and connecting them directly to markets, which we create a self-sustaining cycle of empowerment and income. So a heads up is some of the pictures you'll see in the presentation are actual screenshots taken from our website, which if we are given the opportunity, we'd like to demonstrate at the end. So for example, this is a screenshot from our website. So one of the problems we encountered in Nasewa that prompted us to come up with this innovation was the high unemployment among the youth and women in the community, the lack of access to practical skill training for self-reliance, and dependence on middlemen who typically exploit producers with low prices. Okay, also one of the questions you may ask, why did we go with building a website as our innovation, is because according to KICTA Net in Kenya, the internet literacy in Kenya stands at 35% in rural areas, while 56.5% in urban areas, and this number is only set to increase over the years. So this is one of the reasons that prompted us to come up with this innovation. Also, the technological landscape in Kenya stands at an exceeding Kenya shillings 1 trillion market cap. So those are one of the reasons that prompted us to come up with this idea. So the solutions to the problems stated above is now Nguvu Nexus, which I've said is an innovative community hub that empowers local people by providing hands-on skills, training, such as hairdressing, tailoring, agribusiness, and linking them to ready markets for both their products or services, both offered as an affordable fee. As you can see on the right over there is an actual screenshot taken from the website, which at the end I'll also display. Then our main customer target was mainly youth and women who we aim at seeking hands-on skills in hairdressing, tailoring, and agribusiness in order to earn an income. Also, the local artisan and farmers needing market connection to sell their products profitably. One of the things we noticed was a farmer may have a large farm with maize or sugarcane, but may lack the market connection in order to sell their farm produce profitably, or may also be exploited by middlemen who are just looking to profit from their hard work. Also, small business owners looking for trained workers or reliable suppliers. Community members willing to pay for skill trainings or market access to improve their livelihood, and also partner organizations and institutions. So our unique value proposition, which sets us apart from the rest, is that we combine not only skills training, but also market connection under one hub. This is rarely seen in the, let me say, technological landscape. If I may give an example, one of the prominent schools in Kenya which teaches computer literacy, Moringa, may only equip you with the skills, but later leave you off to find a way to market yourself. So that's one place where they are lacking and where we can improve upon. Also, it provides an affordable hands-on training tailored to local needs. If you're coming to look for tailoring, we take you to the tailoring department. If you're coming to look for metalwork, we take you to the metalwork department. If you're coming to look for agribusiness, we take you to that department and link you to people who are knowledgeable and skilled in those areas. Also, it ensures immediate income opportunities through ready markets, as I said, and it empowers youth and women to become self-reliant. Also, it promotes sustainable community growth and entrepreneurship, and it's offers trust, local-based solutions instead of external dependency. Okay, what are the channels we are using? Community training centers and workshops, local market days and fair trades. These are the ways we're looking to showcase ourselves or to market ourselves to not only the community but at large. Also, radio and local advertisements, and Nguvu Nexus website, which, as you can see, is there. I believe at this opportunity, I'd like to hand over to one of the people we are stationed with together to continue from here. Ephraim, if you're listening.
Yes, I am here.
Yeah, thank you. Please, I'll hand it over now to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Hamza. So if you can go back to the previous slide, please, I'd like us to look at a section in this slide where we're talking about the services that we offer in this hub. And so the first thing that we aspire to do by this project is to really connect the people in Nasewa to begin with, to other places in this country and even to the world, because we really want to, number one, link farmers to ready markets so that they get a very good price for their produce. Can we go back, please? Yes, so that is on connection. Slide number 7. Yes, asante hapo. So that is on connecting. We want to connect the farmers who are there, because you will notice that in Nasewa, most of the people there engage in agriculture, which is what they do for their livelihood. And so it is a goal of this project that these people get the most out of what they are doing. And it's also, this will also provide us with a platform to link skilled professionals in those places, so that they can get employment from anywhere else in the country and pretty much the entire world. That is what we aspire to do. Number two, we want to train people in these places. You will find that most of the residents of Nasewa cannot afford to go to higher institutions for learning, and so we our desire with this project is that we can get them to be trained by people who are also around the place, locals of the place, and even from anywhere else in the country, because this is an online thing and we're not being restricted by anything. So we really want to open up Nasewa to the world and let these people in Nasewa to get a top-notch training. And we also want to equip them. We want to equip these people with the right tools. We want to equip them with the right resources and even mentorship, so that they can make it in whatever field they desire to be in, so that they can really get a livelihood out of what they do. And so can we move on to the next slide, please? Yes, and so these are some of the revenue streams that can generate from this plan that we have, from this idea that we have. And so from the training that will be offered, a reasonable fee will be charged so that these people can get this training. So some of the examples of the courses or the areas of training that will be accessible through our hub will be hairdressing, tailoring, or agribusiness. The reason we settled for such is because this is what is in high demand in that place, and which they can easily market around the place, and which is very easy for them at this point in time. Obviously, we do aspire to allow them to even get skills that they can market anywhere else in the planet, really. And so we'll also be charging a small fee for linking them to the market. A small commission will be charged for connecting the producers to the buyers. We'll also have a subscription. We'll also be charging a subscription where we'll get regular payments for continued access to our services and also to the markets. We'll also be partnering with institutions so that we can support the community empowerment programs, and we're also looking at some of the government grants that are there that are offered by the government. So, for example, we have the NYOTA, National Youth Opportunities Towards Advancement, as well as other NGO grants. These are some of the streams of revenue for this hub. Can we move to the next slide? Thank you. So cost structure, what we actually need at this point is we need to get the training and operations. We need to pay the instructors and the trainers who will be dispensing this knowledge. We also need materials. We need tools for these people. So whether it's for hairdressing, or if it's for agribusiness, or if it's for tailoring, anything, we will need we'll need to purchase these materials and these tools, and we will also need a venue where we will have all of these things taking place, because you will notice that in that place in Nasewa, not so many people have internet, not so many people have access to computers, and so we will need a place where we can have computers, where we can provide internet as well, so that we can really get them to access all these opportunities. And so we'll also need some of the cost also is when it comes to marketing and outreach, so that you can really get Nasewa Nexus out there, so that it can really be taken in, and the reception by the locals there to be very good. We will need that. And so we'll also need to look at the technology and the systems. We will have to look at putting up a very good website. As Hamza has told you, we have a sample. We have an example of what we want to come up with. We will also need data management tools, and obviously we will also need to look at maintenance and expansion of the same. So this is just a breakdown of the seed capital. So we are looking at basic training tools and materials, approximately 70,000. We're looking at rent and utilities, 40, marketing and outreach, 25,000, office setup and admin cost, 20, maintenance and contingency, 20, domain name and rights for the website, 30,000, and then the stipend for the trainers for 3 months, that will be roughly 45. That brings us to 250,000. So some of the metrics that we can look at so that we can see how we are doing is, number one, the number of trainees enrolled per course. So we can really look at how many people are actually actively enrolling into the courses that we are offering, how many of them are really getting in there to get trained. We can look at the completion rate of this training, how many are actually finishing these trainings successfully. We can look at the number of market linkages that have been created between the producers and buyers. We can look at revenue growth from the training fees and the commissions that we charge. And we can also look at the repeat customers or renewals of these subscriptions for training and market services. So we can look at our unfair advantage. We can look at the strong community trust that is built through direct engagement with locals. This can be very important. This is very important. We can look at the dual service model that this hub has, which is combining both the training of the skills and connecting them to the market, which is rarely offered together, as Hamza has put it. And the services that are being offered by this hub are easily accessible. That is our vision for it. And we also desire that they be very affordable, so that they can really access it, and it can be taken up very well by the locals who are there. And we can also look at the social impact reputation, the attracting of partners, donors, and loyal clients. Yes, so just a conclusion, we desire Nguvu Nexus to be more than just a training hub. We desire that this becomes a bridge between skills and opportunity for these people in Nasewa. It will be very sad if the people of Nasewa are left behind in an increasingly more digital world, in a place where you have to embrace the digitization that is going on. And this project allows the residents of Nasewa, those who are residing there, to access the opportunities that are there in our present world, and to equip them with what they need to have sustainable livelihoods. And this will go a very long way in changing the lives of the so many people living in that place. And so with that, our presentation comes to an end. And so I'd like to hand it over to Hamza for the website.
Thank you very much, Kimboy. Presentation was very detailed. I'd like now to show you an example of the website itself. So this website was coded by me and my team from Nasewa using the languages such as HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap. But now with the development of technology, we see that it's not a must for someone to actually learn this coding language for them to be able to code a website. It's as simple as nowadays. It's as simple as going to a website itself, prompting the website with your ideas, and the website will now be able to generate a code which will make the website itself, and you can edit it. Not only that, there's also easier ways of making websites, such as WordPress, which enables you just to drag and drop the website and edit it as you like. So this is the homepage of Nguvu Nexus. So this is only the user interface where the user interacts with it. There's still the back end of the website where information is collected once the user inputs his or her information inside. So here is the website, the home, the about us, the service, our work, and the contact. The website has been made to be interactive such that each click takes you to wherever you want it to be. So if you click on the About Us tab, it will take you direct to the About Us. and it will show you all the information there. And it will, when you click on the experience, it will also show you and the testimonies. For now, it's empty because we don't have testimonies or the experience currently at the moment. Also, if you go to the services, as Kembo explained, we aim at connecting, training, and equipping people. And it also has the Learn More button, which if you click further, when we fully develop the website, it'll take you to that particular tab about the equipping specifically, the training specifically, and the connecting. If you go to our work, it shows you the work we are doing. Sorry. Empowering, we empower individuals by building confidence and independence through hands-on skills like hairdressing, tailoring, and modern farming practices. It also has the Learn More icon over there. Educating, we provide quality training and mentorship that goes beyond theory, equipping learners with practical knowledge and real-world experience. And also establishing, we help the people of Nasewa especially to establish themselves in market by offering tools, resources, and direct market connections, ensuring they can grow sustainable business and livelihood. Finally is the contact us section of the website, where it shows our email address and our phone number, and also our social media platforms where people might be able to reach us. For example, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and WhatsApp. Also here it's where you fill your name. For example, I may fill, let me take a member of, for example, and the email address. And also your message maybe and also your message or your phone number 07, let me put 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and your message, maybe I would like to enroll in hairdressing. Oh, sorry. So here it shows the enroll now button. Once somebody clicks this enroll now button, all this information in the contact us page will now be sent to the back end of the website, which is now Microsoft Google spreadsheet, where it will have your name, your email, your phone number, and your message. That now will be able to reach you and offer better services to you. And yeah, basically that's it. That's the example of our website, and with that I finish our presentation. Thank you.
This is so good. Wow. Yeah, congratulations. This is really, really good. Maybe you can stop sharing so that we can see people reacting to your presentation. Wow. Are you proud of these students? What can you say? Put up your hand. This is truly inspiring. It is very inspiring. Yes?
Let me start. You can hear me, right?
Yes, Director.
Thank you. My internet is misbehaving. Now, I wanted to say first to the students, congratulations for the work that you have put into this. That's impressive, and you seem to have a good mastery of whatever that you want to do. But I wanted to say to this, the previous one, and other projects that have been presented so far, there's always something in innovations, and especially innovations around sustainable development, called the minimum viable product. And this is something that we have even told the other projects at the time of their presentation, that what is this small version of the bigger project that you want to start? And so that is something that I would really want to ask of this and the other guys. Could we have a time, maybe in the future, that we can have the MVPs that we would love to see? Because a journey of 1,000 steps. I'm sure you have been told that it starts with just one single step. And most of the ideas that have been presented are the intended doings. But then we can move ahead and look at the minimum viable product that we can achieve as we look forward to the bigger project. So I would want to challenge these guys and the other guys. Let's look at the MVPs of our projects and see, is there a place that we can start from, and then we move on to our bigger ideas. Thank you.
Yeah, anybody else? We've actually witnessed education for sustainable development coming alive through the remarkable work of these two transformative student teams, the Bokoli group and the Nguvu Nexus team, NASEWA. So NASEWA means Nguvu Nexus, or it is just NASEWA as it is. The Nguvu Nexus team has taken a bold and innovative step by developing a digital platform that captures the spirit of education for sustainable development in action. Their website has introduced us to what they have, how they can get visitors to get to their mission. And also, they have guided us through a clear practical model built in 3 key pillars: equipping, training, and connecting. And where he was talking about our work section, the team outlines how they empower individuals by building confidence and independence. And I liked the pictures that they were using. And especially when he mentioned hands-on skills such as hairdressing, tailoring, and modern farming practices. I think this is really commendable. It's a powerful example of how technology can extend to reach the community-based learning. Their approach to training actually goes beyond theory, yeah? You can see it clearly the way the students the way they have articulated their project. The website highlights how they provide quality mentorship and practical learning experiences. This actually prepares learners to thrive in real-world contexts. I like the 3 pillars. Connecting ensures that the graduates of their program don't just acquire skills, they also access tools, resources, and direct market linkages, which is very, very good. It is really, you're taking us to another level, Nasewa. Professor Balidawa, maybe you can now ask the other students to see what Nasewa has done so that they too can think about coming up with websites, because some websites are free of charge. You don't have to pay for you to have a website. So they can also think about what Nasewa has done so that they can also do the same. Besides, the Nasewa group demonstrates how education, innovation, and entrepreneurship can come together to build economic resilience and social transformation, especially in the local communities. Their model, if you listened to them carefully, actually their model focuses on skills development. It focuses on mentorship and also focuses on market linkage, ensuring that the youth and women, beyond learning trades, they can also gain real access to income-generating opportunities. This project speaks directly to the heart of education for sustainable development, linking learning, livelihoods, and dignity, where education equips people to sustain both themselves and their environment. Very, very important. Remember, the big question in education for sustainable development is, what if? everybody, all learners, learn to take care of themselves, take care of others, and take care of the environment. And in essence, it is all round, because education for sustainable development is a way of life. The Nguvu Nexus model shows us that sustainability is not only about protecting the environment, it is also about empowering people with the skills to thrive within it. When we started talking about education for sustainable development on this platform, there are various things that used to come on board every day, like MAD, make a difference. So the students are actually madding, they are making a difference. Their project fulfills Sustainable Development Goal number 4 on quality education. Goal number 5 has also come out clearly on gender equality, and goal number 8, decent work and economic growth. And so I want to encourage the students, even as they think about their projects, what is the bigger goals that you are advancing? That is why I'm always telling you, include the goals, even in your introduction. That is the only way you can capture the global audience conclusively. By teaching vocational skills and market linkage, they close the gap between learning and earning. I like the aspect that you have done it so well to bring in all these, the economic, the social, and the environmental pillars. Although you need to work harder for the environmental pillar to be seen. This initiative is actually a strong reminder that sustainable development cannot happen without gender equality, or rather gender equity and youth participation. By focusing on young women, this particular team is helping to break cycles of poverty and dependence. They're also nurturing confidence. They're nurturing leadership. They're nurturing innovation, which are the key pillars of transformative education. And so true sustainability happens when communities take ownership of their economic future. And when you look at what the students have presented to us, this project connects skills training to actual market needs, and therefore creating self-sustaining solutions rather than temporary aid. And that is the spirit of ESD. In ESD, we don't go for help. No, let us use available resources, what we have within our vicinity, to make a difference. It models ESD in motion, where theory turns into tangible impact. That is very, very good. And so the success of this project reflects what happens when universities, when students, and when communities work together as an ecosystem. Their outreach reflects strong local partnerships and inclusive participation, and that is a plus. If you go that way, you are going to do very well. It is a model that can be replicated by other universities and other ESD model centers. And so please document even more. Beyond the website, you can even have a publication. Yeah, you can even, write a book about what you're doing. And so as you go sitting down, and as my fellow participants prepare maybe to ask a question or two, I don't know if you can tell us what inspired your team to start the Skills to Market Hub. Was there a specific challenge in your community or in the community that you've targeted that motivated this idea?
Thank you very much for your feedback. One of the key factors that motivated us in this idea, for example, you would be able to see youths in Busia. Some of them were dropping out of school due to maybe financial constraints, or some people were not maybe the way they were created or the way they're not usually built to the traditional system of school, of sitting in class and going through examinations. So most students wanted to be, and also some students were particularly artistic, we saw with among the females in hairdressing and tailoring. So one of the things that made us to be able to create Nguvu Nexus, which empowers from skills to market, is to be able to tap that potential of these children or these youths who want to explore and expand their boundaries in the things maybe they have been gifted in, or maybe want to obtain the skills and knowledge in. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else with a question, with an insight, with anything that we can add to what the students have given us? Please feel free. This is our platform to share and help each other, support the students as much as we can. Anybody with something they want to say? Janet, I usually don't feel very comfortable when you are there and you're just keeping quiet. Vijedi.
Yes, Daktari.
This is not you keeping
I
quiet.
feel shy.
Why? You don't.
No, I feel shy when I arrive late in the classroom,
No. This is adult learning. Adult learning, we are all allowed because we have so much that we are handling at the same time, and making it here means you've really sacrificed something.
Yes.
God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, but from
as
the little
usual,
you've
I've
had.
always shared. Yes.
Yeah.
As usual, I've always shared that every time someone is sharing knowledge, for me, it is quite an opportunity that I cannot just wish away. And therefore, when I see the youth, those who are going to take over from me, sharing information that even I, who has raised them, do not have, it really humbles me. So, and it is an indicator of what kind of future we are going to have. This is a successful future I'm seeing. Actually, from the first group that we have been listening to, I think as we move towards the end, all the groups are now maturing. They are maturing and they are adding a lot of value to their presentations. And I'm actually seeing success. For their educators, hongera, you are doing great work. And I think exposure is also very important. The fact that they have been given an opportunity to share, it gives them confidence, and it also is an eye opener of some of the gaps that they could have noticed. So thank you so much, Daktari. I just want to share that I wish we also, this is off the cut, sorry to bring in, but I wish we also had some groups from outside institutions, learning institutions, who can also benefit from this, so that we are not just saying ESD is about learning institutions. In our countries, it is about communities, and these communities may not necessarily belong to learning institutions. So those of us who are in these communities, can we also encourage those communities to come up and even share what they are doing in their own way, their small way, so that other smaller groups can also learn from them. That is what I was just thinking as this last group has been presenting. Otherwise, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much. I believe in the next phase, Professor Balidawa, when the students will have finished or will be working with their projects, you'll be able to bring to us students together with the community members, so that the community members can share the success stories, not the students sharing on their behalf. The same way we do with the ESD model centers. The teachers and the students are working together, but it is the students to tell us how education for sustainable development has impacted their lives. So thank you so much, Janet, for that addition that is very valuable. And I believe going forward, even communities, not necessarily learning institutions, churches, if there's something you're doing to make a difference and you are responding to the 3 pillars of sustainability, the social, the economic, and the environment, you are welcome. Book an appointment and share your story with us, because this is an open forum for all of us to share our stories, because we believe sharing is inspiring. And when you are inspired, you get to move to do something that can impact many more other people in the world. Because that is why we were created, my friends. We were created to make a difference, not just in our own lives, but also in the lives of others. So you are blessed to be a blessing. That is why for ESD, we stand for GLGL, give love, get love. So you have to give to get. Anybody else? Anybody else? Thank you so much, Oyamo from Kisii University. I hope you're going to share with us what you're doing in Kisii. I believe there is something happening in the line of education for sustainable development in Kisii University. Anybody else with something to say before I can hand over this to Professor Balidawa and her team? Professor, are you there? Professor Balidawa? Oh, she was
Yes,
traveling. Okay,
Dr.
good.
Christine.
Yeah, please,
I
you
am
can
still
now help us to wind up. And on behalf of GASE directors,
here.
yeah.
And as I am
Hello,
listening to
Dr.
the students' presentations,
Mm-hmm.
I cannot help but feel very, yes, I'm just feeling very. Can you hear me?
You're breaking though.
Can you hear me?
You're breaking.
Yeah, I'm still traveling, but can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
yes, yes.
Okay. So I just want to thank GASE for giving the students this opportunity. I think they now know why we are very passionate about asking them to share their knowledge and also to place them on the global market, because we believe that it's by, as you say, by sharing, we can inspire others, and they too, in turn, get inspired about what they are doing, and they do not see, they make sense of what it is that they have been doing in the communities, and now they're able to see the relevance of what it is that we are very passionate about, and we want to make sure, as you keep saying, we'll hand over the mantle to them to continue with that passion of ensuring that it's not about us, the ones who claim to be knowledgeable. The knowledge is with the communities, the empowerment is for the communities, and the solutions can only be found with working with the communities. So Bokoli and Nasewa, it's a pity that you could not get all your members to listen to these constructive comments which have been made, but I'd like you to go back and share with your members, because they have information We do have a summit which is taking place tomorrow in Annex. Get in touch and see what is being showcased there so that you can also say, now we also had an idea. That will be an opening for you to see how further you can actually take your work. Otherwise, thank you very much, Dr. Christine, the Global Alliance group, for allowing Moi University students to make their presentations in this forum.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And we are hoping that the connections that have been made should be able to help our students take their work to a higher level. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you again and again. And so as the Global Alliance for Sustainability in Education, we celebrate these young innovators for showing us that the true measure of education is not what we know, but what we do, how we use what we know to make life better for others. Let us continue this journey together, transforming our schools into model centers of sustainability, our classrooms into spaces of creativity and compassion, and our students into ambassadors of hope. Because when learning serves humanity, education truly becomes the heartbeat of sustainable development. And remember, it's about the head, the heart, and the hands. Today, you have listened, you have put it in your head. Go down and bring it to the heart. Appreciate, love what the students have given us so that you too can get an idea of what you can do in your own small way to make a difference in the community where you are living. Because this is our hope that we can, and education for sustainable development can transform the world. And up to that point, I don't know if Director Fanuel is now free and ready to talk to us.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Christine, the team from Moi University. I'm happy that we had someone from Mexico also just appreciating whatever we have done and extending a hand for collaboration. I believe we can have our students at Moi University and other schools joining up to the global goal of sustainable development. And I believe that's something that we'll be looking forward to. Not much to say, but just thank you. May God be with you. And we see each other again on Sunday.
Can you pray for us?
Yes. Thank you so much. Lord, we thank you for your greatness. We thank you for your love and your mercies and your kindness. Thank you for keeping us, Lord, from the time that we met to today, that you have given us life. You have breathed your life into us, that we have done things that we couldn't have done. Lord, as we even put up plans for other things that we do, Lord, to make this world a better place, because this is your instruction to us that we can live and make this world a better place. Lord, we call on to you because we know all silver and gold belongs to you. And even if we will quote so many financials into what we can do, Lord, it's you who will answer and make it complete. And so we lay down our plans to you because it's you who can enable us to achieve this. Be with us, our teachers, our students, our parents, and any other person that is at the heart of education for sustainable development. Guide us in everything we do, and may we remember everything that we learn from you, and that we can be people who will make change to the generations now and the generations to come. So be with us until we meet again on Sunday. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And
Thank you.
good people, thank you again for showing up. Please show up again next Sunday, same link. And we don't change the Zoom link. Even if you don't get for next Sunday, wherever you are, please use the same link, the same time, and join the forum. If you've not joined the Education for Sustainable Development WhatsApp group, check the chat. I shared the link. Join the WhatsApp group because that is where we share much more. And we have a bigger community there. So please join the group. If you've not given me your name and your email address, please share it with me directly through my inbox. Yeah.
Yes.
My number is +1 647. Somebody is talking? +1 647 891. Let me put it in the chat. 647 891 4784. And so that is me. We are in the process of looking into getting you people certificates of participation. It's not something that I thought was going to be done very fast. We are working on it because there is so much we are doing. We are still working on the magazine, the November edition. It will soon be out. And if you have something to share in our monthly editions of our magazine, please feel free to share so that you can be given a section to voice what is in your heart about education for sustainable development. If you have an advert, you're welcome. You can advertise for free for now. But when you get to January, people will be paying for the adverts. So I think that is it. And God bless you. Good night, those of you who are going to sleep. Have a good day, those of you who are in America and Canada. God bless you. People from West Africa, I think it's good night, yeah? Have a good night too. Goodbye and God bless you.